The question is what according to you is still the biggest sin? Is there anything which can be called a sin if we are taught to accept all and judge no one? Well, my friend, the jury is out on this one. All right. I think it's a valid question. The point is, if on the one hand we say that accept everything, accept people as they are, and you don't have the right to judge anybody, then does the notion of sin, of a sin or committing a sin still exist? If everything is okay, then where is the notion of sin? As Fyodor Dostoevsky, in his book Brothers Karamazov, I think, he writes, if there is no God, all is permissible then. We have created the concept of morality. And based on that, we have created the idea of sin. That this is a sinful act, this is a divine act. So basically what we are saying is, if I change my moral compass, my definition of sin will change. So could there then be an absolute notion of a sin, or the very concept of sin? A while back I shared this thought experiment on my blog. It used to be my blog, now it's os.me, the platform, where it's called the trolley experiment, if you might recall, that there are 5 workers working on a track, a rail track. And that track is diverging into 2. On one track, there are 5 workers. On the other track, there is 1 worker. And you are right at the junction where you have access to the lever. From the other side, you see an engine coming, and its brakes have failed. Should you pull the lever? It's currently going in the direction of 5 workers. It's going to run over 5 people who are completely unaware. They are listening to their iPod and things like that. Or should you not pull the lever and let 5 people die? Should you pull the lever and let only 1 person die and save 5 lives? Or should you let 5 people die? Because why to intentionally direct the engine where it's going to kill 1 person when that person is just doing his job? A moral dilemma. What would you do? Most people would say, we would like to save 5 people. Now, imagine you're a doctor and a very healthy 25-year-old walks into your clinic, and you have 5 patients who are dying. 1 patient needs kidneys, the other needs liver. A liver, the 3rd person needs a heart, the 4th person needs eyes, and so on. And you see this handsome young man, all healthy. Would you harvest his organs to save those 5 dying patients? Probably not. But why not? In principle, you're doing exactly the same thing. You are saying, I'm saving 5 people. Earlier, you were happy to pull the lever and send the engine on that one poor guy who was listening to Michael Jackson at the time. And suddenly the bad train comes and everything's gone. But here, you're doing exactly the same thing, just the circumstances are different. Once again, you're saving 5 lives. So the notion of sin usually cannot be absolute. And when I talk about sin, this person has said to accept all and judge no one. I am saying forget talking about others' sins. I'm least interested in that. Who's to say everybody's innocent unless proven otherwise? So how can we possibly say that the other person is committing a sin? We don't know their circumstances. We don't know the context. We don't know what was going on. We don't know their background. We don't know anything. So to say that the other person has done something wrong, it's gross misdemeanor in my view. It's sheer ignorance, put it this way. So when I talk about sin, I am saying, let's talk about you. What are you up to? When I talk about sin, I talk about me. Believe it or not, the most strict rules I've ever prescribed to anybody is me. All the principles I have in my life are for me. I don't care really. I don't mind if others breach their principles, if others don't follow what they promise or don't come through. I really don't mind. It does not change my world. It does not change my affection for you. But I don't give myself the same luxury, because I have to look myself in the mirror every single day. On the days I give discourses, twice a day. And I want to make sure the person I see in the mirror, well, because I have to put my tilak again in the evening then. The person I see in the mirror is a person I can say, you are a truthful person. But if anybody was to insist and say, what in my view would be a sin? Then I'll tell you, because it's my job to answer questions. And I will answer this one. Covetousness. To covet what doesn't belong to you. That is the greatest sin in my eyes. And I'm not talking about coveting some material objects. I'm talking about coveting even emotions, even fame. You haven't done something. Let's say you haven't done something, you get the credit for doing it, and you take that credit and you revel in it. That's covetousness. You haven't earned something, and you take it, and you tell yourself a story, I've earned it. That is covetousness. To eye something that belongs to somebody else is clear-cut covetousness. Because the very basis of covetousness is deceit. It's lies. It's conduct that's not truthful. In my eyes, in my view, when you covet something, when you take something that doesn't belong to you, that's a sin. Would you go to hell for it? Absolutely not. But your life is not going to be heaven anyway, either. You will suffer. Because the law of karma is not that you slap somebody, somebody will slap you. That's how we would like it to be, but it doesn't work that way. The law of karma is if you do something which just inherently is incorrect, you will pay the price. Period. One way or the other. Whether that price is some disease, that price is some discomfort, that price could be complete loss of sanity, that price could be your peace of mind is gone, that price could be that you have everything and yet you are lonely, that price could be you're just unhappy. That price could be anything. Nobody can predict what that price would be. The very basis of covetousness is not just deceit, it's ego. In Greece, in fact, there is near Syria as well. In Greece, there is a town called Antioch. And there's a river that runs through called River Essi. And one time, the king of that place was Antioch, the two. And they built a bridge, which was built using huge boulders and rocks that many mules and donkeys, brought on their backs, and those rocks were used to build that bridge. When that bridge was completed, as you might have seen, we usually write the name of somebody accomplished, so-and-so built this bridge, so-and-so inaugurated this bridge, and so on. So they said the King Antioch too, built this bridge. And of course, the mules weren't too pleased about it. They went for a little walk one day, went to the river to have some water, and they said, "We built this bridge. The king didn't do anything." And that's the ego of the king versus the ego of a donkey. The donkeys are thinking, flapping their ears and looking at each other like this. What's going on here? We built this bridge. But the king says, "King built this bridge." And it so happened, one rebellious man went down and in black paint, he wrote, "The mules who were, employed, so to speak, to work here built this bridge actually, not the king." And that was the truth. I think that made the mules very happy, but the literature is quiet about that, so I don't really know. The point is, all the things that we think we have done, just imagine the amount of effort put in by others behind it. Like I'm sitting here giving a discourse, but I have a small research team as well that constantly, they try to find stories for me and jokes as well. And recording is handled by Swami day in, day out. He goes and then publishes the videos. Prabhuji is sitting there handling the recording system, the sound system, and all that. And somebody has fed me dinner before I come here. Somebody's ironed these robes. Somebody's made this place ready. Look at the amount of effort that has gone into before making this happen. If I were to just show up here and saying, "I am the king that built the bridge," who's going to credit the donkeys then? Now, you pervs, that wasn't my point, all right? So the point is that when anything happens, a lot of people have a role to play in making something happen. It's the truth. Now, for one person to sit and take the credit, it's covetousness. It's not just bad. It's, as I said, a sin. It's a sinful act. And I think to have that mindfulness, that I must give credit where it's due, it's not that you're doing any favor actually. It's just the right thing to do.